4 teams, 5 perspectives, 1 division, 1 war room. Welcome to West War Room Rivals, your home for everything AFC West. From breaking news and game day analysis to heated debates, bold predictions, and unforgettable guests. This is West War Room Rivals, where rivals collide. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to West War Room Rivals. I'm with my comrades here in the war room. We got Corey and Austin Shovik up top. Ethan over there enjoying a healthy protein shake while the rest of us are talking about Sonic and Dairy Queen around here. So welcome into the show. If you guys are new, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are your #1 AFC West podcast. Just want to make that very clear. Fellas, how we doing today?
Dude, I just want to point out that we're a couple subs away from doubling our June and July totals.
For the month of August.
I think we have. No? Like we're 1 away, aren't we?
We're one away from June, I think, or 2 away from 2 from July, 1 from June.
That's pretty
from doubling it up.
Yeah, we're 20 away from 800, which that was not the goal when we started this in the offseason. I think it was 750 was our goal. We've smashed that. We've moved the goalpost to 800 subs now, which we're steamrolling ahead, man. We might want to talk about 850 pretty soon, but
it was funny because we come up short of 650 for July, right?
Right. We're all down about it.
We're not like disappointed about it, but we're kind of just like, damn, we were so close. And here we are talking about, hey, we're about to double that shit.
Right.
Yeah, you guys asked we were talking about like the goals, and I threw mine out for like by week 1, and I think it was like 2 hours later, I think it was Corey was like, well, we're almost at one of your goals already on the total views. And I'm like, okay, I guess we should just shoot for the moon at this point. Like, our goals are you guys keep sharing it with your friends, family, coworkers, crackheads at QT, anyone who will listen. Just share it with them, right? Anyone who's willing to talk ball and have a good time, please keep doing it because it's awesome to see.
Yeah, and this enterprise is only expanding. We had Orange and Blue debrief over the weekend, Aftershock on Sunday. My Raiders podcast came out on Sunday as well. So we are expanding even to team specific, and a great dive in details from everybody. I mean, Ethan was able to talk more about the Tyler Biotish injury. Matt joined Corey for more of a debrief on the preseason, how that all looks. So again, check it out on West War Room Rivals. We have a lot coming out, a lot to do, a lot to go over tonight, if I do say so myself. Ethan, how are you feeling, man? You were under the weather the last few days, so how are we recovering today?
good. I mean, I feel like it's the cycle of being a teacher. It's like you're off summer and then you start again and you're back introduced to all the germs of all the students. You go from like interacting with a total of like 10 people all summer to interacting with 150 every single day. And you're in a very small place. So like, I'm kind of used to it. Like you assume it's going to come. And like, it's funny. Sometimes I think like an athlete, like when I'm going through the day and I start feeling like it, I feel like twice a year, I'm like, this is my flu game. This is the equivalent of my Michael Jordan game. And I make myself feel so much better and it motivates me through the day. That was Friday. Friday, I was feeling so terrible. Like I was in a meeting and I literally told my coach, I was like, hey, like I was probably like not the most pleasant person. Like, sorry about that. And he's like, no, you're good. You look terrible. And I'm like, thanks.
Yeah, go through your day like they're filming your 30 for 30 documentary.
Yeah.
This is where I took it personal. Also, shout out to Austin. He had a birthday yesterday, so played some golf, I think. Did you do any other birthday festivities?
I almost blocked that user from making any comments once I saw that. But no, I golfed. I cleaned out my car. Made sure that the trunk was spacious for nothing but golf clubs, golf sets, golf shoes. Dogs will be traveling with us this weekend, so I covered up the back seat and everything with a little doggy hammock.
Yeah.
And then I kind of did nothing else. I kind of did what adults do when you get like that random extra day. A little bit of cleaning, a little bit of lounging, and like, I don't know, just enjoyed not working.
Sounds like a dream. I think I'm going to take my birthday off next year just to in honor of you of doing that. So,
well, yeah, they just give it to it. Like I guess you could have the option, but like you just get paid 8 hours for not working on your birthday. So I'm like, yeah, okay.
Nice. I'm in the wrong industry. I'm in the wrong industry. All right. Well, enough of the housekeeping. Let's get this show going. First off, shout out to Emporia State Federal Credit Union, Field Ops, and also Jeff and his crew at JBW Solutions. They are the studio sponsor. So we got an opening question for tonight. Ethan, I think you're the one that posed this. So are you okay kind of introducing this and getting it going?
Yeah. So as some of you guys might know who see me, I'm pretty chronically online from the amount of random stuff I'm constantly pumping out, as some of our people probably have realized. And so one of the things I saw were people were starting to call their shots. So what we're going to do is we are going to call our shot. Now we're going to get a little specific here, and we're doing more than just picking who's scoring the touchdown. You got to pick the yardage as well. You got to get into the minutia here. So you got to think whether it's going to be a run or a pass or a defensive touchdown if you want to be fun. But you also got to pick how far out is this coming.
Okay.
Austin, with you raising your hand, does that mean you would like to go first?
Oh no, I will go first. I'm more than happy. I've thought about I was going to get very specific, not knowing that's where we were going to end up anyway, because I like being me, and I knew immediately when you posed the question in our group text that a couple weeks ago after we did our draft and stuff. I was like, oh, I already know what this is going to be. Yeah. So I know I just you gave defense some love, and so I was like, yes, thank you, Ethan. But to go first, I actually picked a yardage because it was going to give me a little segue into our boy Matt. So. It's going to be a 67-yard touchdown.
Wow.
This is for our boy Matt.
6'7", huh?
Yep. We miss you, Matt. We love you, Matt. We're carrying on the 6'7" tradition for you because we do know it is your favorite. So when you go back and watch this,
he might actually have that tattooed on his shoulder.
I'm pretty sure he does.
He should. He absolutely should when he comes back.
Yeah. So love you, Matt. Miss you, Matt. Hope you're safe. Always love hearing from you. But other than that, I'm going to go for more of a nostalgia thing. It's going to be a 67-yard touchdown pass to Travis Kelce.
67-yard touchdown pass to Travis Kelce.
Yep.
His old ass not getting that end zone.
I know there's a chance. It's his last week one at Arrowhead, right? Maybe it won't be 67. He's going to score the first touchdown.
You get to pick. If you want it to be 67.
It is. That's what I'm choosing. But he's getting the first touchdown. There's no way he's not getting that first touchdown from a nostalgia thing. Like, it's your last ride. It's prime time, Arrowhead, week one. More than likely, Mahomes is back. So I'm going 67-yard touchdown. We got to admit, there's got to be some kind of blown coverage or something. The Kelce's going 6-7 yards. So, Denver, if you're watching, please screw up a coverage here or there so we can score this. But, yeah, the whole nostalgia, primetime, Arrowhead, more than likely Kelce's last ride. Give me that 67-yard touchdown catch for Travis. It might be their only touchdown, but it'll be their first.
Well, if he doesn't, Taylor will get a divorce.
Oh, gosh.
Damn.
Oh, I should have said
on this one.
There is a prize for whoever gets the closest. I will wear some of your team memorabilia onto the show after week one.
You will wear?
Yeah, like I'll wear like a Raiders thing or a Chiefs thing or a Broncos thing. Who's ever the closest, just to make it more fun between the four of us.
All right.
But we'll let you go, Cody.
All right. So I'm gonna say in the
Game 3 of the year.
Yeah. Week 4. No, we'll say, so I'll say 6-minute point of the first quarter. It'll be a 32-yard touchdown from Kirk Cousins to Brock Bowers to score the first touchdown for the Raiders. That's what I'll say.
Going tight end heavy here.
At least it's not Geno Smith. You'd have been like, Geno Smith throws a pick six. That's our first score of the season.
Well, I could predict the Jets opening drive right now. So Geno Smith drops back. Yeah, throws it. I don't even know who the Jets are playing. Whoever that cornerback is, though, just picked it off.
He's been cooking in training camp, though. Looks like
cooking what? Man.
Touchdowns to his offense.
Didn't he throw a pick six in a preseason game already?
Did he?
I don't know.
Did Mendoza?
Yeah, it's okay. It's preseason.
Let's be nice to Geno Smith. He threw a pick week 1. Last week he only had one incompletion. So
hey, he's back.
Okay.
Yeah. He's back.
Soon the Raiders are going to trade for him to come home.
Another 3rd round pick and a 3-year extension. Is that right?
Yeah, come on home and finish it out.
Let's do this. We have unfinished business.
Corey, what is your shot?
Yeah, man, I'm going. It's going to be shotgun formation, trips, and then it's going to be a Jalen Waddle 45-yard catch. He's going to blow by the secondary, boom, over the top, touchdown. Broncos win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Man, we got to wait a long time to see if his is right.
Well,
I guess Ethan never has to worry about wearing a Broncos gear on the show, I suppose.
Well, also, how are they getting to the Super Bowl if they don't score a touchdown until the actual Super Bowl?
Will Lutz coming in clutch.
hell yeah.
They give up 0 points a game.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
All right. So my shot it's something that's been on film. I'm not ready to like totally feel confident about it, but I think it's going to be an 8-yard screen pass to Amarian Hampton. I think Amarian Hampton's going to start running to the right. I think they're going to try to get the screen game going really early because I think it's such a staple of Mike McDaniel's that I think they're just going to spam it a bunch in the first couple drives. So that's what I'm going with, but we will see.
Didn't he have an elite red zone offense one of those years with the Dolphins? And it was primarily on a lot of those quick screens, little screens in the red zone.
Yeah, because they used a bunch of Hill and Waddle.
Yep.
And spread you out really wide, which I mean does make it super difficult because you have to go after every blade of grass.
All right.
Taking a page out of Sean Payton's playbook of a screen pass. So,
well, don't do that.
Not every play either.
Yeah, not every play. Holy cow. You just keep stalling. And you're just like, what the hell?
All right. Now that you've heard our 4 shots called, you in the chat, drop your teams. Every time I say it, it makes me think of that fantasy name I had to say over the weekend.
Wait, what?
Call your shot. Who scores your team's first touchdown? How's it scored? How long?
Cleveland Browns. It will be a pick 6 to the other team.
It'll be a safety.
If he even gets it to the other team, he's going to just throw it straight in the dirt.
I've been watching the training camp highlights the Browns have posted, and they literally post clips of him throwing it nowhere, like to nobody.
Yeah, there was a pass today after he was named starting quarterback. He just threw it, nobody anywhere close.
Yeah, I think he thought it was going to be an out route, and the dude's still running, so it's just like, oh, so this is what we're going to. All right.
I mean, he has. So I know this. We're really upping the rundown right now, but he has not been the same since he left Houston at all. And that was, what are we on, year 5, year 6 since then?
This is year 5. This is the final year of that contract he signed.
Absolutely crazy, the fall off. I mean, granted, like he had a lot of legal problems that kept him out of the league for a while, but still though, like all this time.
He wasn't kept out of the league at all. He didn't miss one game.
No,
outside
it's not
injuries.
Outside of the injuries.
Well, no. Like, but when he was in Houston, he was on the commissioner's exempt list. He didn't play, I think, for like a season and a half, I think. Now, granted, you're right. Any eligible games he didn't miss, but while he was clearing up all that legal stuff, he didn't play. So,
yeah, we'll dive into that dumpster fire for sure. Because, like,
that's like a 2-hour episode right there, just talking about that.
I would not spend more than what we have to tonight on talking about Deshaun Watson. It just happens to be a big NFL story right now. So
yeah, for real. All right, we'll move on to the next part of the rundown, you guys. So fantasy football is underway. Shovix, I think you guys had a fantasy draft this past weekend. I have one in 2
weekend.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so I've got one not this weekend, next weekend. And Ethan, I'm sure you're joining a bunch as well. So with that,
I'm in way too many.
Represent the war room.
That's right. Any
Actually, during
invitations?
tomorrow's show, I'm going to be doing a fantasy draft, but for my school league. But I'm currently right now slated to be in 5, which is disaster type fuel.
Oh, that's bad.
True story.
It's just like 3 competitive ones, and that's borderline not okay too.
I think I'm in 5 right now, so that's not terrible.
Max 2, maybe.
I've got 2 family ones. I have a dynasty one, and then I've got two friend ones. So yeah.
No.
5.
Well, would you like to take over the war rooms?
Who are we drafting?
It doesn't matter. I mean, you can just be in charge of it, and you can figure that out on your own.
No, it's fine. Anybody wants to send an invite, one of us will join, I suppose. So,
not I. Don't volunteer me.
All right. Anyways, get back on track here. So, anyways, fantasy football obviously is upon us, which means we're going to give you guys our top 5 quarterbacks and top 5 running backs, and kind of have a conversation about it. So, Corey, I think you're the defending champion of the Podcasters one this last season. So who is your top 5 fantasy football quarterbacks?
Yeah, I beat their asses so bad I didn't even get an invite back. So that's awesome.
They actually deleted the league. So,
well, that's how bad I beat their ass. So right. we're good with that. So yeah, with quarterbacks, it's pretty simple, guys. These are probably the 2 of the easier positions that we're going to probably be talking about. I'm going to start with 5 and work my way to 1. Number 5, I got Justin Herbert. Again, I really do. You guys have heard us talk all offseason about Mike McDaniel. I do think that they've been working, and they're going to continue to work on that quick game. So again, and he still brings that rushing element to the back end of it. So I have him at 5, Jalen Hurts at 4, Joe Burrow at 3, which that's a tricky one. It really is a tricky play with Joe Burrow. And then number 2, Lamar. Number 1, Josh Allen. I think Lamar and Josh Allen are self-explanatory with what they're able to do. Lamar, just because he's basically a running back who's going to get you, some passing statistics as well. So as long as Lamar is still able to run at the elite level, you could even put him at number 1 for some. I just have it number 2 just because, again, Josh Allen and what he's able to do. Josh Allen's kind of the way to go if you're taking a quarterback early. So yeah, that's my top 5 with that.
Nice. Yeah, Josh Allen's probably a league winner if you're in a league that has 2 quarterbacks. You definitely want to grab one of those top 5s to compete. So Austin, who is your top 5 fantasy quarterbacks?
Yeah, I'll start at 5. I basically had the same number 5 as Corey, except I took the NFC version. So Dak Prescott at number 5. I just like that situation. Mm-hmm. That offense is loaded, and we're not sitting here talking about playoff wins and winning games. We're talking about fantasy football, and that offense is loaded. Another year with Schottenheimer.
Yep.
Like, Dak's a pretty easy, I don't know, because he has some rushing upside still. Like, he's going to put up the elite passing numbers with a little bit of rushing upside. Number 4, I have Joe Burrow. I still think he is statistically one of the better throwers of the football in the regular season. With him, you just, A, don't know if he's playing the whole season, and B, he really isn't as mobile as he once was. I imagine those injuries are probably piling up or something. But again, if he plays a full season, Higgins and Chase playing a full season, like, they have weapons, he'll put up the numbers. Number 3 for me is Lamar Jackson. Rushing upside, I don't think much more needs to be said. Mm-hmm. Jalen Hurts, kind of the same thing. I put Hurts over Lamar just because of the amount of goal line vultures that Hurts has. That tush push, the dude's putting up 100 rushing touchdowns a year. I'm curious to see if they lean on Derrick Henry and Baltimore a little bit more in the red zone. Mm-hmm. But all those vultures that Hurts gets has me putting him second. And then Josh Allen's 1. He has the rushing upside, the passing upside. Until he's not one of the top 2 or 3 fantasy quarterbacks, he's probably going to have to be your consensus number 1 fantasy quarterback. Because if you just put his passing stats up there, he's going to be with the best of them. You put his rushing stats up there with quarterbacks, maybe not quite the yards that like a Lamar will get, but mm-hmm. he'll have still a good amount of touchdowns. So from a fantasy perspective, I feel like your top 3, no matter the order, is probably Allen, Lamar, and Hurts, mm-hmm. Just because of the rushing upside. But yeah, that's my top 5 for quarterbacks. In fantasy, you're looking for that rushing upside, and then you're just looking for kind of the best offensive situations once you get past those rushing.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. All right, I'll go next. So I do want to give an honorable mention before I get into my top 5. My honorable mention would be Justin Herbert.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. No, actually, Fernando Mendoza, stash him away.
AFC.
Yeah. So honorable mention would be Justin Herbert. I think he's just right outside there, but honestly, if you get him, he probably could put up enough stats to get within top 5. I feel like he's got the offensive coordinator that can help him do that and all that. But number 5, and I had to change this in the 11th hour because one of his weapons was traded away yesterday, and I was going to put Drake May, but now number 5 for me is Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix could be top 5 because, again, adding Jalen Waddle, he actually finished just at, I think it was number 6 in points overall for fantasy last year. I feel like now you add Jalen Waddle, hopefully that run game is improved because that definitely will help. And I feel like, again, like what Corey's been saying with the modernized offense with Davis Webb, I feel like that would help. And then number 4 for me was Joe Burrow. I feel like with a healthy Joe Burrow and his offensive weapons around him, I feel like he can get top 5 really quickly, and he showed that last season. 3 for me was Lamar Jackson. I think based on injuries, for sure within the top 3, but with injuries, I think Jackson for me respectfully is at number 3, but he's going to be dynamite anytime you draft him. 2 for me is Hurts just because of the tush push, and it's a run first offense, benefits him. Josh Allen, clear number 1. Really no discussion here. It's unfortunate because Josh Allen probably should win a Super Bowl, but in terms of fantasy, he'll win you a championship game because he just puts up so many points. 14 rushing touchdowns last season in fantasy, which I think was in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken, in overall rushing touchdowns for the league. So definitely somebody that will win you a league all by himself, especially if you're in a 2 quarterback league. So that's my top 5. Ethan.
All right.
Yeah. Why is Ethan not going to put Josh Allen number 1 here?
Oh, well, I can change my list.
I'm just making
no, that's fine. What I did do is I thought about doing something different because I realized I was going to go last. And I can ask your opinion if you'd rather me give this list. I did top 5. I also did like top 5 best value players.
Okay.
If you want me to go through and instead of top 5 guys, or I can say the top 5 really quickly and then spend more time talking about it. It's really
when you say 5 best like values, are you talking about all positions? Because
like
we're
ADP.
No, I'm saying of quarterbacks.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's fine. As long as it's
good.
a quarterback one. Yeah.
All right. So what I think the best values at quarterbacks, looking at average ADP, which if you're not a fantasy guy, this is average draft pick in your fantasy draft. So the best value right now is Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes right now is consensus quarterback 15. And again, if he's not missing time, he's going to easily have a top 10 finish. So you're getting at least a top 10 player in a 15 spot value, which is probably the best value you can get. Another one I really like because of rushing upside is Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray right now is the quarterback 17. And again, if he plays up and plays all 17 games for the Vikings with that receiving core, he's going to end in the top 10 from his rushing upside to his receiving upside. So that's a great round pick if you're one of those people who likes to sit on quarterbacks. Another one, I would not draft him as your starter, but this is your quarterback 20 right now. And this is where things get a little cheeky, would be Tyler Shough. Tyler Shough in that Saints offense. That Saints offense was fun last year. It turned on in the second half. I'm not saying he's going to be a world beater, but if you're trying to take a guy to be your backup that maybe you don't love your starter or you're trying to like play to matchups, I think Tyler Shough is a great guy because he could end up being a top 10 player and you're riding him the rest of the year. And you didn't draft him that high to where if he's not that good and you have to drop him at some point and go to the waiver wire, you're not that upset about it. It's worth the risk in my opinion. And then the 2 others I think are good value. They're just higher up. Like you guys brought him up. I think Justin Herbert, quarterback 9, is good value in the Mike McDaniels offense. Now, the rushing upside I think will go away a little bit. I think that was more of a product of Greg Roman, but I think the touchdowns will go way up in his passing arm. So I think that's great. The other one, and I'll say my top 5 in a second. This is my 5th guy on the list, and none of you guys mentioned him. And this is a part of my priors because I said he's going to win MVP, is Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams right now is quarterback 7. And so it's not like tremendous value, but I think it's another guy of this could end up being quarterback 1, 2, or 3. If you're looking at it, like he could end up 5 spots better than where he is. I mean, I think last year he ended up as quarterback number 5. And this is with a whole nother year in the Ben Johnson offense with, I think, better set of weapons. I think Colson Loveland will be involved a lot more going into the season, which will help them a lot. And so I'll just lift up my top 5 because it's not that much different. So 5 was Williams, 4 was Drake May, 3 was Burrow, 2 was Lamar, and 1 was Josh Allen.
Oh, Hurts didn't even make your top 5.
No.
Wow.
No, I don't, but it's also a priors thing because I don't believe in the Eagles. And I've been pretty like adamant about that. And so I feel like putting him in my top 5 would have made me go back on my word a little bit, and I've decided I will not do that.
Stand on business. I think what's interesting is I think Hurts, if I had to be honest, my top 5 is kind of the most questionable at 5, only because there's no AJ Brown now, and you've got Devonta Smith as your number 1 guy. Can he be the guy that takes over, the target shares and all that stuff to get up to top 5 status? I mean, rushing, yes, but like without that number 1 guy in AJ Brown, does Hurts get into the top 5 fantasy point wise? So,
and they still got Goddard, Eli Stowers. I mean, you get the screen game with Saquon, Tank Bigsby, who probably won't see the field often, but yeah, I mean, I get it. I think you just kind of look at the overall. I think with this, you're looking touchdown value with Jalen Hurts, and they'll always have that inside the 3-yard line. He always has that chance of probably getting that touchdown. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've never drafted Jalen Hurts. I probably wouldn't. But that's just me.
I don't. Yeah. And Ethan, you will be proud. I mean, I think it's well documented. I'm not the biggest Herbert fan. Like, I think it's well documented. I'm not breaking news here.
We have episodes that show this fact. Yes.
Yeah. I put that aside because I'm competitive enough. And Justin Herbert was my quarterback pick in our fantasy draft this last weekend.
And I took Jordan Love.
And he took
Wow, that's improvement right there.
Worst quarterback in the league, and he drafted him. That's wild.
I was getting ready to take Justin Herbert, and I was going to have Bo Nix and Justin Herbert as my 2 quarterbacks, and he decided to take Herbert. So I was like, shit, I guess I'm going with Jordan Love.
It's a 2-quarterback league, and we were starting to get to the point where if I didn't take Herbert, I was going to be stuck with like Daniel Jones, CJ Stroud,
and Kirk Cousins probably,
which he does have Daniel Jones as his second starter.
I'm a Danny Dimes guy.
Wild.
He has rushing upside still
with an Achilles tear.
That's all he has going for him, so he's still going to run.
That's all his Achilles. That's all?
Dude, people come back in like 3 weeks now. You're not even going to realize.
What do you think? He's Aaron Rodgers or what?
That was the most fake Achilles thing ever, but he didn't even play. But all right, everyone loves to shout that out.
Before we go on to running back, what round did you get Herbert?
This was round 5. He was quarterback 11.
Okay. Yeah, so that's good value for 2 quarterback.
Lawrence went before him. Like, what is this league?
Yeah, I don't know. That's up to your league on that one. But I mean, hey, maybe because he had, I think right here, 9 rushing touchdowns last season. So maybe the dual factor.
He was starting to figure it out towards the second half of the season. Him and Liam Cohen kind of started dialing it up and dialing it in. Especially Cody, we talked about this last year during this time. Once they traded for Jacoby Meyer, that offense absolutely changed.
You're still going to take Herbert over Lawrence for fantasy purpose. Well, and real life purposes, honestly.
I mean, yeah, that's another discussion if we think Trevor Lawrence is going to have another season. But anyways, we're going to go on to running backs now. So same order. Corey, who's your top 5 running backs
this
for
is
fantasy?
Where I'm blowing it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll start with 5 again. It's obviously Saquon still. I do expect a bounce back from Saquon. I think he's going to be back into good graces just because no A.J. Brown, so they're going to look at ways to get him going. Again, I think he has the pass catching ability too in a PPR setting. Number 4 is Derrick Henry. I do think Jesse Minter is going to use the shit out of this guy like he's supposed to be used. I think he's going to be, getting into that 300 carry territory finally. It's been a while, and he might have actually done it. I just don't feel like John Harbaugh ran with him that much. But 3, CMC. I know the injury is kind of a thing right now. They got so much stuff going on in San Francisco right now. Like
already,
it's just
yeah.
What are they
Everybody's on the IR. Head coach was on the IR. Everybody.
The owner's going to IR.
Yeah, he's going somewhere.
Yeah,
$140 for that.
And then and then Jahmyr Gibbs 2, Bijan Robinson number 1. Those could be intertwined. I know I've saw a lot that had Gibbs 1, Bijan 2, but I like Bijan. I think Bijan's one of the better ones. You may note there's no Jeremiah Love in that discussion. I did draft Jeremiah Love early in our draft, so I'm not necessarily sure how the Cardinals are planning on using him. So again, I wouldn't draft him in the top couple of rounds, though I know most probably would. So that's my top 5, and
take that.
All right, good. Austin, your top 5, since it sounds like it's going to be a doozy.
Well, here's I feel like after the consensus top 2, there's such a group of running backs because you're going to have like the ones he mentioned plus like James Cook, Jonathan Taylor, a full season of Genty or Hampton, K9. Like, there's just that next group of like, you don't know how it's going to pan out.
Sure.
And I have been scarred almost every time but once drafting CMC that, nah.
Yeah.
He's not part of that next group for me anymore. So take that for what it's worth. Number 5 for me is James Cook. I feel like he's just always kind of overlooked because of Josh Allen. I know Allen gets a lot of rushing touchdowns, but Cook is a valuable receiver too. He's quietly just been a really good fantasy running back. Once outside of quarterbacks, I like just high floor guys. I'm not always looking for home run picks. I like the floor James Cook will give you. Their number 4, James Cook. Number 4, Jonathan Taylor. He does have some injury concerns too, but I feel like if he was on any other team other than the Colts, he would get so much more love. If he stays healthy, he is a bell cow. They treat him like a bell cow. He has receiving upside as well. And I'm just a really big Jonathan Taylor guy to begin with. Number 3, Derrick Henry. He's always going to be in my top 3 until the day he retires, if that day ever has to come, because that dude is a machine. He is an animal. And I do think at some point, again, believe it when we see it, at some point, they're going to get people in Baltimore who will use him.
Is this before or after he retires? Because time's running out on him. I'm not saying that he's going to fall off a cliff or anything like Max Kellerman, but he's up there. I mean, he's not a young running back anymore.
He still looks like it. Dude's, I'm going to take him till he retires, and I'm going to take him with confidence. He's one of those dudes. It was kind of like AP, where you kind of saw the writing on the wall, but you're like, I'm going to take him still. Like, that upside is so massive that, I don't even know. Derrick Henry's probably like RB like 6 or 7 these days.
I was just looking at the ADP.
I think he's RB 9.
He's RB 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So if you take him in that range, that upside, yeah, give me that all day. Number 2 for me is Gibbs. 1 and 2. It's Gibbs, Bijan. Gibbs 2. I've always been on Bijan's best running back in football. He's probably their best receiver as well. If we're being honest. So he's their best running back. He's their best receiver. He's their best player in space.
Probably their best quarterback.
And honestly,
I bet he is. Yeah.
It might get to the point where he's going to start returning some kicks and stuff because they're psychos down there, and he's going to end up having some return touchdowns. Who knows? But
Kevin
Bijan to me,
tell him to get on the field.
Bijan to me right now is in that same area that like prime CMC was. He is a league winner. He's going to get 80, 90, 100 catches. He is their offense. He is that good. So for me, he's 1 for me. Gibbs 2.
All right. I dig it. Before I give you my top 5, I do want to give a shout out to my cousin. He's the one that asked us to do this, and the guys agreed to do a fantasy stuff. So I appreciate the guys for listening. I do want to say I found this in our DMs in our league last year. This is what he offered me, and I rejected it, and I regret it because it lost me that league. He offered me CMC and Drake May for Bo Nix and Kyron Williams. Now, last season, this is before we found out CMC was healthy because he hadn't practiced or anything. And I rejected this trade, and I'm like, why did I do that? So
when was
this trade?
Last season. So last off season. This was like a week before.
This is a dynasty league.
No. This is just our regular league, but this is after we drafted. Like, I want to say like the week before the season started. He sent me this offer. And again, we hadn't known if CMC was fully healthy yet.
It wouldn't matter if CMC is not. You still take that trade, Cody.
Well, I drafted him last season, and he didn't play all last season. So forgive me for being scarred by it. So.
You've been scarred. That's why you didn't hear me say CMC in the top 5.
So anyways, I just wanted to, go ahead.
And in your cousins, like we were going to bring up fantasy in the next couple of weeks anyways, because I knew it was getting hot and drafts were starting to pop off. So him asking us to do this just kind of sped up what was going to happen probably very soon. So we do appreciate that.
Yeah, and he's a Broncos fan, so I know him and Corey have something in common. But anyways, back to the top 5 here. So I don't have Derrick Henry in my top 5. He's honorable mention. That's fine. He's honorable mention. And again, PPR, you have to be able to catch the football as well. And I get it. He's a bell cow, but in PPR leagues, it just better to be that. But James Cook for me is number 5. I feel like he doesn't get as much love, like Austin said. And with having Josh Allen and defensives having to respect that, to me, James Cook, fantasy option for sure. Homer pick here, Ashton Genty for me, number 4. And again, upcoming season, a lot of improvements now with Mike Washington being second running back in there where defenses have to respect. I feel like Ashton Genty is just going to feast more in fantasy, in my opinion. So number 3, Jonathan Taylor of the Colts. I feel like, again, with the passing and the catching ability, top 3 for sure. And I feel like with that offensive line, he's going to feast this upcoming season. 2, Gibbs for me, Robinson, number 1. And again, very splitting hairs. You can do either one, but those are the top 2 running backs for sure in the league, unless Ethan gives us a different top 2. But I think it's Gibbs and Robinson for most people. All right, Ethan, your list.
Yeah, I need to comment on yours before we continue.
Yes, do.
Very much.
Okay.
First, so you just made a spiel with Derrick Henry about PPR, and then you left CMC off the list?
Yeah.
How does that make sense? Please explain that logic.
It's my list. I'll stick to it. Thank you.
Okay, so there is no logic. It's just
We
vibes.
did discuss it, though. We've been scarred. It's the same reason I left him off.
So you would not accept that trade again if offered to you? Is that what?
For what? Oh, hold on. If it's a CMC for what?
Bo Nix and Kyron Williams.
Oh, yeah, I would take CMC.
Well, it depends what my quarterback situation is.
Well, so I had Bo Nix and he had Drake May. So the trade was to flop them.
Nah. Get Drake May the hell out of here.
Well, Drake May in another league led me to the playoffs and Bo Nix didn't. So, anyways, keep going.
No, that was my real only comment. I just had to say that. That was it. My list isn't that much different. I was going to say something about the Genty thing, but I'm like, I kind of get the vibe. The problem is, like, you don't know when he's actually going to play at this point. Like, that's where it gets a little dicier. And the same with Jeremiah Love as well. Like, Jeremiah Love also has a bad ankle, and they're like, maybe week 1, which usually means it's probably not week 1. When they're just like vibes, like, oh, it could be. That's just like teams trying to sell tickets.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. It depends on how much you're willing to wait, I guess. So for me, I decided to change my 5th spot just to like switch things up. And I put Chase Brown there. No one talked about him yet, and he's in that tier as well. He's been a really good fantasy player the last couple of years. And when you talk about an appeal. Yeah, he's a great receiving option and an offense that loves. I mean, Joe Burrow loves checkdowns.
Yes.
And so getting him out in space is like a great way. I mean, it's why Jamar Chase like does so well in fantasy is their volume is they're routinely throwing the ball 30, 40 times a game. And so if you're not in a PPR league, I would not really think about Chase Brown, to be honest. If you're in a standard league, maybe even a half PPR, but I think in a PPR league, he makes a lot of sense. This was the other comment I was going to make to you, Cody, which my number 4 is Jonathan Taylor, but you said Jonathan Taylor catches the ball really well, and Jonathan Taylor does not get that many catches. Like, he's like fine, but like he's much better in a standard league. Like, if you're in a standard league, like Jonathan Taylor should probably be like your first pick. They hand him the ball so much. He just doesn't have that much receiving upside, I guess, compared to the other running backs. 3, again, this is why it went off. It's CMC, and I don't understand. Like, I get that you don't want to bite the bullet and all that, and you don't want to be shown wrong and let the electrical substation get the best of you. But you get so bitten when he's so good, because when he's at full power, he's RB1. Like, it's hard for him not to be. Like, I mean, what was it? Like 2 years ago, he had like 18 touchdowns in 18 games in a row or something.
That's a lot of touchdowns.
I don't know if that's exactly right, but it was some crazy streak.
It was close.
Of like,
it was a streak.
It was, of just like, there was a stat about it. Like, if you had rolled over a $1 bet over all the games for him to score a touchdown, you would have ended up with like $100 million or something.
Jeez, why are we playing?
Yeah,
because it was you rolled over the winnings or something. Maybe it wasn't 100 million. Maybe it was 100,000. I think I'm way off.
I was like, that's a lot of zeros behind that number.
Yeah. Sorry. when you have teaching, you're doing a lot of grading and the numbers are way off. All right. So my number 2 is I decided to go with Bijan Robinson. Reason being is, I guess it's a little bit of scars for me. I just don't love the Atlanta offense. Like, I know that he's going to have a lot of stats. It's just that quarterback situation is the least confident. I think it could legitimately be the worst in the NFL right now. I know Cleveland is bad, and I know that there's other teams that are bad, but there is nothing coming out of Atlanta about any of them. There's nothing, and they're both left-handed, and I get it. They have Drake London and Kyle Pitts, but I don't know. Aesthetically, it looks bad. The vibes are bad over there. And then number 1, I have Jahmyr Gibbs, just because I think the Detroit offense will be good again. And so he's the mover of that offense. And there's no David Montgomery anymore. So
there's Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, though.
Did Kareem Hunt sign there?
He's visiting.
Did he walk out with a contract? You think so?
No.
I don't know if they sign him, but
I mean, they're not going to be a threat to Gibbs
at all.
No. That wasn't the question. Yeah.
Pacheco's got awful, so
not good. That's probably why they're bringing in Kareem Hunt.
I think I heard someone describe Pacheco running as he's angry at the ground and he's stomping on it when he's running. Every
Zero
time I see
vision. His Madden rating for ball carrier vision is -20.
I don't know. Trent Richardson wants a word with that.
Trent Richardson, gosh.
Here, I'll say something about Pacheco. The thing about Pacheco that never made sense to me is the Chiefs had the best interior offensive line in the entire league. It would have been so easy for him. He literally should have closed his eyes and just run the play as it is, and he probably would have been better than whatever he was actually doing.
Yeah, no. Nope. His problem was he went where it was designed. He couldn't actually see the crease. So if the run's designed here, but the crease was here, he couldn't do that.
It's over.
It was literally the worst vision, because Chiefs actually graded as a really good run blocking unit.
Right.
And to be so bad at running the ball, at that point, it's on your running back. So Ethan's point is very valid that he could have closed his eyes and probably done better.
Yeah.
So
it was rough.
And as we kind of move on here, because we're still obviously going to talk about the AFC West, guys. So obviously we have the break-off shows. We did a lot deep dive. Ethan did a deep dive into the Chargers and everything. Cody did his. I did mine. So what we're going to do here with this discussion is, since it's still heading into the last week of preseason football, finally, we're getting closer. What I want to do with the AFC West discussion is we're going to either pick a player of the game that someone that stood out. Maybe there was a play, or if there's a player that maybe someone in the AFC West or maybe fan base from the other AFC West teams need to be kind of looking out for. So maybe a name that's kind of standing out and maybe be that draft diamond or that roster diamond. So it's not going to be a deep dive into what's happened in the previous games, as far as breaking everything down from that, as Coach Kent Murphy says, from a fundamental standpoint. It's more of just kind of, we're breaking down a player and or something with that. So Cody, big win for the Raiders. Don't know how we're going to say that this season, so I'm going to let you start.
Yeah, you know what? If there's any players that really were highlighted in preseason, and specifically kind of like what you mentioned, I think there's 2 that come to mind. One of them obviously is Mike Washington. I mean, it sounds like the Raiders had every steal of the draft. I have to preference that, because literally every time I hear any radio talk show and they talk about some Raider player and it's a rookie, they're like, oh, maybe steal of the draft. Literally, that's every rookie that they talk about. But I think Washington is a very good one. He does have a fumbling problem, which hasn't shown up in preseason, but it's definitely something that the Raiders are probably keeping an eye on, and he'll definitely be a good RB2. Second one, though, and I know in the Houston game he had some drops, but Malik Benson clearly is a receiver that is going to be focused in this offense. And the fact that he was able to have, wide open breaks, basically be all alone, and if he just kept his eye on the ball coming in, probably had a touchdown in that preseason game, and he found himself open numerous times. Now, I know a lot of people are beating him up on the drops, but, it happens when it comes to receivers. Thankfully, it's preseason. You work on it, and, it doesn't help that he's a 6th-round pick, but clearly he looks like he's a receiver that's going to be used a lot, and he's very explosive, and I think a diamond in the rough. And again, Ushovic had mentioned him as somebody that the Raiders got that they were upset that he got, because he's that guy that could be a game changer. So Malik Benson and Mike Washington for the Raiders this past preseason for me are two players that I wanted to highlight and talk about for the Raiders for sure.
Hell yeah. And I think that goes to show the Raiders receiving corps is just not very good.
No, it's bad.
And that's not a shot at them. I mean, again, guys, they're still in rebuild. This is still a rebuild. So with that being said, Ethan, let's pop it over to you.
Yeah, I'm deciding to use my time, and I'm going to be negative. And I'm going to rant about something I posted on Twitter because I cannot stand watching this guy. And Austin, I know you like him, but I despise watching Trey Lance throw the football. And reason being is, my God, he is the same quarterback from when he was drafted. I will say athletically, he's so talented. Like, if he had somehow gotten to like Lamar level throwing the football, he probably been in the right kind of offense. He probably would have had a good career. The problem is the dude stares down every single receiver, so much so that every single ball comes out as a hospital ball. I've never seen in the course of 4 plays him get 2 different receivers concussed. I've never seen that and it's one of those things, if you're sitting on the, like, sitting as a fan and you're like, dude, what are you doing? Like, he just stands there and looks straight at them and is just like, you know what? We're going to fire this in. And they just get their head just gets ripped off by the safety. And then he sits there with the audacity and been like, oh, just missed it. And you're just like watching it and you're like, what are we doing? I cannot stand watching him anymore. Him putting receivers, and then you have Charger fans who are sitting there like, DJ Uwangale is the future. And I'm like, no, he is also bad. He cannot set his feet for anywhere. There is a throw where he's in a clean pocket and he just randomly went to the left, gets Darius Davis wide open with 10 yards of separation. So he decides to throw the deep ball. But instead of just staying where he was, he jumps to the left and throws it midair and misses it by 20 yards to the left. I've never seen 2 quarterbacks who are so athletic that have no idea how to throw a football. It's like ridiculous. And I'm so sick of watching it. Like, if you're ready for something of a big thing I'm going to start ranting about, is the Chargers need a new backup quarterback, because I'm sick of watching these dudes. It's not even that I don't like them. I just don't like watching them play. And again, I'm a junkie and a sicko of Chargers football, and preseason should be like my heaven. But watching this dude makes it horrible. And I hate rewatching it, and I don't like watching them. Rant over.
That's not where I was expecting that to go. The least important position on the Chargers is where he went. That was wild.
God, pray for Justin Herbert doesn't get hurt. Man, golly, your backup quarterback situation would make you probably crash out more than me.
Yeah, I mean, then we're drafting Arch Manning, and I'm finding like a new life because officially my Chargers fan.
Oh wait, if the Chargers try drafting him, do you think he holds out like what Eli did?
I don't even want to talk about that. We don't need to open up old wounds. This is just horrible. And now I have to see on my Twitter timeline, because everyone else is like, Trey Lance is bad. Let's trade for JJ McCarthy. And I'm like, oh, another one that I have to watch throw hospital balls? We're getting more guys who like to put. I cannot stand anything that's happening right now. I would take Garrett Nussmeier. To be honest, like Garrett Nussmeier was, or I just said his name wrong, but he had some good throws in the Chiefs game where I'm like, at least that would be exciting. But instead, I'm forced to watch just Trey Lance like have a 35-yard run and then throw an out route 10 yards out of bounds.
Oh, Ethan, we're praying for you, bud. All right.
Yeah,
Corey.
I mean, Denver's backup quarterback battle is not much better, but I'm not going there. I'm going with my breakout player, Q Robinson's again.
Say his real name.
It's Q Robinson. Led the team in pressures, obviously had, and there's Mike. Appreciate it. Mike. Yeah, Mile High Monsters. Him and David have been on a roll this week already. They've been going. So again, make sure you guys go check out their stuff. I was just on with him after the Broncos game on Friday night for a late night episode. That was a lot of fun. So I'm going with my player of the preseason so far, and I'm not saying it's Q Robinson.
Spell it out every time.
It's the pressures that you're starting to see the leap. And again, we've been talking a lot, with other players about taking that next step. And this is a big season for Q. Vance Joseph's been pointing him out quite a bit during camp, during preseason. And I think he's truly got that ability to, take that next step. And I think this could be, that stepping stone and being the guy that ends up probably taking over for Jonathan Cooper and giving the Broncos Benito on one side and then obviously him on the other. So I'm sticking with that. That was my breakout player heading into the season. And I absolutely love the direction that he's going. And I'm looking forward to continuing to see him grow this season.
Very nice.
I drafted him on a big team.
All right.
With the Chiefs.
Yeah. For me, I'm not a big preseason guy. I honestly just hope that I don't get any updates about injuries. That's really what this time period is for me. One thing I do like to watch, though, is rookies. I just want to see how the speed of the game looks and everything, or kind of fringe roster people. And I think there's two that stood out. Same position. It's our Mason Thomas. Yes, I know it's against backups and everything, and you want him to look like he's playing against people who are lesser than him at this point, and that's what it's looked like, which is good. If you want him to, be that speed rusher that you were hoping he was, he should look like he stands out right now going against backups. So that's a positive for me. But also FAU. I'm not going to say it's Felix Anabugia Udamanapia.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. Him just looking healthy. We haven't really got to see him look healthy and have a shot in Kansas City. He had a couple plays against the Bucs where he did just absolutely light the quarterback. I mean, on one of them, he hit the quarterback so hard that Browning went out for a couple plays. It was a clean sack. It wasn't one of the rough in the pass, but it was just such a clean, firm, hard sack that.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that the quarterback had to go out. So I think FAU and our Mason Thomas looking like they're standing out against backups is promising. If they're kind of looking mediocre against backups, it makes you wonder what they would do. Again, when you're lined up beside Chris Jones and George Karlaftis, which they're not doing, that'll probably make life easier, but they're looking like they're standing out. And that's, Reuben Bain, Chiefs Kingdom's been keeping a close eye on him too. The dude's been an absolute monster, as he should. I mean, again, another stud rookie going against probably not starting offensive lineman. He's standing out. So, some speed rushers off the edge for Kansas City. It's a nice sight. It's what they need. I mean, I think all last season and in the offseason, we talked about how embarrassing the Chiefs pass rush was. I think we established Myles Garrett had more or almost more sacks than the entire Chiefs team last year. So just some nice young juice off the edge has been a nice surprise through 2 weeks of the preseason.
Very good. All right. It's nice to get some AFC West conversation and also hear something about the Chiefs. It feels like we haven't gotten any positive reports from the Chiefs. Just waiting for the season to start, I guess.
Yeah, someone's slacking. Yeah, we all got our shows going, and then we got this guy over here hey.
Well, by the time there's an open slot, it's already the next week.
7 days in the week, man. Pick one.
Austin, you just got to make a video of just Cyrus Allen highlights and just talk over them.
I know, for real. That's a hell of a player.
But I agree. But here's the thing. We don't really like rookie receivers. I'm still hesitant on how much Cyrus Allen's going to play. Especially with Thornton, Rice, and Worthy. Royals has been getting a decent amount of run. He's not a rookie. So as nice as Allen has looked, Andy Reid is notorious for not playing rookie receivers unless injuries and things happen.
That's why they never win.
I will take my decade of never winning with half of them in the Super Bowl. So as nice as Allen is, and he might be someone down the road, I'm not sure of how quick of an impact he'll make because the top three is kind of set, and you don't really know for Royals how much he's going to factor in. So Cyrus Allen has been a nice preseason training camp kind of light, but I just don't know how soon we're going to be able to see that shine in Kansas City.
Can I ask you one question before we move on? Because you haven't said it on the show. What do you think about that Delane is playing special teams? I've seen this a ton on Twitter.
He only played one snap of special teams.
Okay.
He was out there a little bit in training camp because he had non-contact jersey, so they were just trying to get some run in. But in the actual game that he played Tuesday, he played one special team snap, and even Dave Tube today said he had a really good gunner rep. He's like, he's someone that I would love to have on my special teams, but I don't think I'm going to get my hands on him. So I think it's already been discussed that Delane's not going to be playing too much special teams, barring an in-game injury or,
probably if that. I don't even think we'll send him out there for that.
Again, we have the old school coaches that are still going to, quote unquote, make some rookies kind of earn their stripes. So he's played a couple in training camp and practices, played one snap in the preseason game against the Bucks. I will tell you, if he is not even a permanent fixture, if he gets a couple snaps here and there on special teams, it's not even just me. Chiefs Kingdom will not be okay with it. I can tell you that much. We're not going to want to see that. So to answer your question, if he plays a lot of special teams, that is something you will hear me bring up and bring it up often, because stop. I think receiver ones and cornerback ones, honestly, even in the passing lane, cornerback ones and twos shouldn't be playing special teams. Too valuable. You can put a Waddle back there for a punt return and like a big time moment where you want the ball in his head. Kind of what Chiefs used to do with Tyreek.
Yeah.
We want a nice sparked return because things are kind of, put him back there. But no, if you play special teams, you will hear about it. But that is a great question because it's been floated out there a little bit, so I can see where that's coming from.
All right, ready to move on to League Recon?
Let's do it. Let's let's not spend too much time on this first one since we did earlier, but just give me one word. Let's do one word right here with this one. Brown's name starting quarterback. Ethan, give me one word to describe this.
Gross.
Cody.
Poo-poo.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm going to go with, it's going to be one word. It's doggy do. Just all one word. Dog do.
They don't even get a hyphen or space.
Yeah, it's dog
just
do.
one word. Yeah.
But now let's get to the important one here. Genty seems to have dodged a bullet. Clint Kubiak's obviously very, very smart with this. I think it was today he had his presser and he was very mum on it, but said he's trending in the right direction. Cody, give us your initial thoughts when we were discussing this. It just happened right before fantasy draft too, so it was just kind of like trying to pay attention to the draft. I'm trying to make sure that you're okay. Walk us through Cody's Sunday.
Yeah, my mental health was the first thing you were thinking of. Yeah. I mean, for sure. Like when we saw on Twitter where it was like Ashton Genty left practice, couldn't put weight on his right leg. And that was pretty ominous. People were already
speculating. A moment of silence.
Yeah, I think more or less of like what we were getting context clues of was making it seem worse than it was. Like couldn't put any weight on it. The team knelt for him and then did it again when he, couldn't put any weight on it. And people had to take him off the field and it's not looking great. Like we hear all those reports and then almost feeling silly about it. Thankfully, it's just a sprain if all reports are accurate. But then at the same time, it kind of makes me think like, okay, how much are they like keeping tight lip with this? Because it does kind of feel like they are withholding a lot of information. To which extent, I don't know. And most NFL teams are not going to, well, unless it's Sean Payton, he flat out just said Bo Nick's ankles need surgery and that was it. But, most teams are going to keep everything pretty close to the chest. So the fact that like it's just a sprain. And then I think Adam Schefter on Pat McAfee was kind of like, well, they really don't know. Like there's a lot of information and it just seems like it's worse than what they were leading on with. And then Ian Rappaport kind of has a report that conflicts that. So I think for the most part, it sounds like Genty is going to be okay. A lot of the tweeting that people that claim they were there, I think scared more people than anything. And, again, if all reports are accurate, it's just a sprain. Hopefully maybe he just sits for the next few weeks and he's fine. We'll find out, though, come week 1 if he suits up or not, because that'll really tell us how serious it is, because I can't imagine he misses week 1 off of a minor injury. But again, if all reports are accurate, he couldn't put any weight on his leg, maybe it's more serious than what they're letting on.
Yeah, high ankle sprains, too. High ankle sprains tend to take the longest. But, yeah, a week 1.
It beats an ACL.
But, yeah, thank God.
Still, we don't know this yet. Like no one's fully on set. Like
that's true. We don't know the actual injuries.
Yeah, again, if all reports are accurate, which again I don't know, and I've been trying to listen to Locked On Raiders podcast. I've been trying to read Twitter majority of the day. So far, it's just they say the sprain is more low than high, whatever that means. And again, like it
so
seems
we're not going to
encouraging.
speculate. Yeah, and we're not going to speculate here. We're going to go with what's been said. So don't at all. We're not saying ACL at all.
Right.
That's just we'll go with what they're saying, which is high ankle sprain or just an ankle sprain in general. Let's go to something that has been confirmed. Ethan, you broke it down on your show a little bit the other day, but kind of go ahead and give the audience the news and maybe where the Chargers are leaning towards for their replacement for Tyler Biadasz.
Yeah, Tyler Biadasz officially placed on IR and is out the year. I want to start this off by saying right now there is a wave of Charger fans who I will call despicable to a certain extent. It might be too harsh, but that are like, oh, it's so good that now Jake Slaughter gets his opportunity to play center. And now he can be the center of the next 10 years. And I'm like, this is like gross behavior of like a dude who had been a career center. It was brought in and was paid a pretty sizable contract to be your center the next 2 years at least, because it's pretty much guaranteed fully. Like, I understand, like, and this is where I say it comes from. I think there are Jake Slaughter fans out there, and I am a Jake Slaughter fan. Like, I think he's a good player, but there are a lot of people who I think wanted to justify that pick so bad and like wanted their priors to be like, oh, we didn't waste it on a backup. Because I feel like a lot of people were saying like base case scenario wins the guard's job, which he wasn't going to win and was pretty noted throughout training camp. And then, so now they're like, oh, he's a starter. Like Joe Ortiz is such a genius. He knew this was going to happen. And it's like, no, like you still got to hang on what you were complaining about for the last 3 months. Like Joe Ortiz did not draft Jake Slaughter thinking that Tyler Biadasz would get Awashika to throw a defender into his knee. Like that was not the goal here. So I feel really conflicted on it because there is the conversation of like, you never want a guy to lose his job, but like if Jake Slaughter is good, is Tyler Biadasz really getting that spot back next year? Like we can't cut him. I'll say that his dead cap hit is more than his actual cap hit next year. So he'll be on the Chargers next year. It's just like a question of what does it become if Jake Slaughter's good? And so a lot of people are just like, oh, it's Jake Slaughter's job to lose. And I'm like, that, I don't know if that's true. They have way more. They have $12 million invested in Tyler Biadasz, but that's a conversation for next year. But, and this is another thing that was like about all the Genty stuff of there were so many of those Twitter doctors being like, oh, because it was contact, it can't be an ACL. And I'm sitting there looking at them and I'm like, you said all the same stuff about Tyler Biadasz. Tyler Biadasz had a dude thrown into him. And then you're like, oh, it's contact. So that means it's not an ACL. And then I got the news that he's out the season. So I don't want to hear any of it. I'm still in mourning to a certain extent. I feel terrible for him. Like it's such a terrible predicament of you're an NFL player. You only have so many limited years to actually play in the league, and to have one stolen from you is always tough. And Tyler Biadasz was going to be a good player in this scheme, and I hope Jake Slaughter the best, and I hope he's what he hopes to be, but I'm not going to sit here and act like priors wise, like this is a good thing. Like some Charger fans are trying to paint it as at this point.
Yeah, that's heavy. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, and again, you never want to see the injuries. And injuries have been piling up for a lot of teams so far in training camp, which is why we continuously say, get through training camp, do something with training camp. But you got to like, you still got to practice, right? Like you still got to get broken in. You still got to get, the rust off. And it's just like, at what cost, right? So let's get into the last discussion topic here real quick. Chiefs made a blockbuster trade tonight. So Austin, go ahead and break that down.
Franchise moving.
Yeah, I'll make it quick. They traded 2028 7th round pick to the Giants for Josh Azude. backup lineman, has a little bit of experience starting. He can be kind of a guard tackle swing. He played both in the preseason games. Kind of just nice offensive line depth, which if you've listened to any show of ours during seasons or even now with Chargers, like you can never have enough offensive linemen, especially versatile ones. So to just spend a 2028 7th round pick, shore up the backups, interior and tackle a little bit. Not a bad move. It's one that nobody's really gonna, probably talk about unless he's thrust in and does well or poorly. It's just going to be nice to have. So, not necessarily the blockbuster that was promised, but it's one of those, and you're going to start seeing a lot of trades like this during cut down times where rosters are taking shape. A player might become available and a team's going to be like, hey, take a 6th or 7th round pick so I have dibs on them. So you'll probably start seeing a lot of these in the next week or two. This one so far for the Chiefs I like. Again, you can never have enough offensive linemen, experienced offensive linemen. Didn't play the last year, which is a good thing for the Giants. You don't want your backup lineman playing. It means things went well. But 2 years ago, he did play in all 17 games. In the 10 starts, he only allowed 2 sacks and 10 pressures. So again, if my backup is thrust in and kind of puts numbers like that up, that's worth a 2028 7th round pick.
All right. And we are heading into the final week of preseason. So it's the final week. You're going to start seeing cut downs. Teams have until, I believe, 3 p.m. Saturday or something like that, whatever, after their games. So be on the lookout for that. I won't be able to do a debrief until Sunday evening. We have stuff going on. So Ethan, do you have an idea of when you want the aftershock? And Cody, I'll let you guys kind of plug your shows in real quick.
Yeah, we're probably going to return to our regular Friday time. So we'll probably be back at Friday around 4:35. I'll put it on Instagram just so you guys can know. But yeah, that's probably when we'll do Aftershock this week. We're not going to do it after the game because, again, these games are at 7 p.m. for some reason. And I'm at the stadium, which means I won't get home until like 11 p.m. And no one will want to watch. I won't want to do it. So we'll do it on Friday.
Cody?
Yeah, we'll do a Raiders briefing room on Saturday. We'll do one, and it'll give enough time because the final preseason game is on Thursday, and then obviously we'll have cut down right around there. So it'll be prime time to talk about some reactions and to find out what the Raiders do when it comes to putting people on practice squad or who didn't make the final 53. So just means that the regular season is steamrolling ahead, boys.
Yes, and the debrief will be Sunday night. We'll usually Saturday, but obviously we'll be in Kansas City. Yeah, Kansas City on this weekend. So Saturday will not be. It'll be draft time for us, but we'll make sure to tune in to watch you guys as well. So we will be back tomorrow night. We'll talk tight ends and receivers for fantasy football, and we will dive into some more. Maybe we'll do a little preview of this upcoming week 3.
Well, we have a guest tomorrow.
Oh, do we?
Yeah,
I thought
we
that
do.
was next week.
Austin, who's the guest? Go ahead and plug it.
Cameron Parker, one of the Broncos people. He said it worked perfectly for him, but he does mainly Broncos, MHRT Network, 5280 podcast. Big Broncos guy. Obviously, we're going to talk Broncos with him, but a little more. Since we're heading into the season, maybe a little more AFC West matchups. Maybe not necessarily predictions. Mm-hmm. That's something we'll keep to kind of just ourselves when season really is upon us. But Cameron Parker will be joining us tomorrow, talk some AFC West, talk some Broncos, and kind of just have a good time. Everything Corey just mentioned will probably be a couple weeks away because next week we have the beat reporter for the Kansas City Chiefs with The Athletic, Jesse Newell, joining us.
3rd time.
As well as Brianna Sports.
3rd time.
No, 4th time for her.
4th time, yep.
Damn.
She's been doing a lot of big things. She was just on her local TV network there in Arizona. Been doing some MCing things and, did some UFC fights and stuff in Vegas and all that. So excited to have her join. So we actually just how schedule's lined up, double booked for guests next week. So our next 3 episodes will be Cameron Parker, Jesse Newell, and Brianna Swamp Rack, or as we like to call Bree Sports.
Apologies, Cameron. I could have swore that's mixed up on my end. I'm getting ahead of myself. So
we can talk about
with them. Well, either way,
so the whole rundown now.
Yeah.
Again, I do appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. Make sure you guys on YouTube subscribe to the channel. Continue. We're 20 away from 800. Continue to help get this going. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, all that fun stuff. Boys, do we have anything else? Cody, take us home.
Yep. All right. Shout out sponsors: Emporia State Federal Credit Union, Field Ops, Kansas, JBW Solutions. Ethan has been with us the whole show, guys. His camera's been freezing every now and again, but promise he's still there, giving great takes and all that. So we'll see you guys tomorrow for Cameron Parker. Don't forget to